Yeah. YouTube. What up? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Watts. I'm your host, Watts. You already know I'm right here and I got y'all covered. Today, we're talking about superstars, WWE superstars who definitely need new finishers. They need new finishers for one reason or the other. More than likely because, well, the people that I really chose is really based off either A, the effectiveness of the move. Like you can look at the move and, some moves, obviously, the way they slam you, it don't hurt like on the mat. But at the same time, the move's supposed to look like if I throw you on the concrete and do that move on you, it should take you out the game. Some of them don't, or it takes way too long to set the move up in the first place, and you gotta have an alternative finisher that's going to win you the match quick. At least that's how I feel. Like when I play WWE 2K or I play any of the old wrestling games or something like that, I have two finishers, or yeah, two finishers. Cause like you back in the day, they give you two finisher slots. So I would have one finisher for the top rope, possibly, or I'll have a finisher that I can just execute quick and deadly, So I've always liked the Impaler DDT. So that was always the move that I would go with when I would do something on I create a wrestler or something like that. So I would go for the Impaler DDT, which is actually called the Execution, that Edge somewhat made famous, but well, Bobby Roode as well. But I would go for that. That would be my go-to. Now it's kind of like my signature move in WWE 2K. My actual finisher in WWE 2K is the it's like a underhook face buster. That's my move in 2K. I love that move. But without further ado, let's begin. Number 5, Grayson Wilder. He does this little rolling stunner into the ring. So he'll roll into the ring and then he'll do a stunner. It's a cool move to have in your arsenal, but that's not a finishing move, my guy. That's not a finishing move. That's not something that should be something that you can execute from anywhere. You can execute the stunner from anywhere, but the stunner right now is reserved for Kevin Owens. The pop up power bomb and the stunner is reserved for Kevin Owens. The pop up power bomb and the stunner is reserved for Kevin Owens. I say that to say that he should have like a quicker finisher. Like he did, all of his finishers, it takes a lot to set up. Like I remember he did this really cool move a couple months back. It was like a second rope overdrive. He did that on Carmelo Hayes when he was facing him. It was a really good move. I truly want to like actually add the moves on here, but to be honest, I already know WWE is going to flag my stuff. YouTube is going to flag my stuff, and I can't really afford that right about now. Also, if you hear horns, you hear things that's outside. I'm sitting right by my window. That happens. I live in New York City. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm gonna have to get like some sound reflectors or something like that. But I'm doing this in my living room, and I don't really want the living room to look tacky. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I might have to change my living situation pretty soon. Probably get like a little 2 bedroom or something like that at some point. But that's neither here nor there. That Grayson Wilder move is cool. I like it. It's fly. But that's not a finishing move. That's not something that you can take with you into the main event and win the world championship with. It's not believable. It's not something that's going to get the fans on their feet. It's not going to get people excited because it's like it's kind of anticlimactic if you ask me, because the the build up to the move makes you think that it's going to be something big and spectacular, but then in reality, it's just a rolling stunner. I don't know. Like I see the vision. I like the creativity, but in order to take your move set to the next level and take your career to the next level, your finisher is very important. The Miz had to do it, and I actually like the first. Well, no, the Miz, it took him like 3 tries actually, because he had this kind of like neck breaker. He had two types of neck breakers. He had like a neck breaker where he just like grabbed them up and just did like a regular neck breaker. Then he had the I think it's called like reality Reality Check, yeah, Reality Check. Reality Check was pretty cool, but even that one wasn't really connecting it with the fans. It wasn't until he started using the skull crushing finale that's what connected. And guess what? It's quick, it's deadly. You know, a lot of these moves they gotta be quick because if you're in the main event, you got you gotta hit that move quick. You know what I'm saying? So that the crowd don't get bored. So to be honest, if we're talking about trajectories too, I feel like the Grayson Wilder has the same trajectory as the Miz could possibly have. Like he can, once Miz decides to retire, that's his lane pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He's been getting those comparisons. So I'm just saying that finisher to me personally, it should change, and it should change soon. Number four, Roxanne Perez, the Pop Rocks. That finisher, it's cool. Like I've always liked the sunset flip. It looks good, but the way she executes it is to me it doesn't have enough pop. It doesn't have enough flair. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously it's a quick move to execute, but it just doesn't feel like at least when's it, and I'm not knocking her, by the way. I'm definitely not knocking her. Yo, that's the prodigy. She's cold as hell. We already know this. But her execution of the move to me is not really great. With Zelina Vega, when she does it or when Rey Mysterio does it, you can see like the pop, like the flip. It kind of just feels like with her it's like a roll, like they just the opponent just rolls into it, like, and I understand that's probably like the safest way and the safest route to go with it, but to be honest, I don't know, I'm not really a fan of that being her finisher. Now that being like a signature move, kind of like Kofi Kingston's SOS, as the way he does that, and you can and that basically indicates that, all right, this is like one step before the match is about to be over. So he'll do the signature move, and then after they kick out of that, then after a couple maneuvers, a little back and forth, then he's hitting the Trouble in Paradise. Like I feel like that's the better setup than it being, that just being her primary finisher. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just never really liked it because it just feels like it won't put nobody out completely. I feel like she should, it's not a drastic thing, because it's already marketed as her thing. That's her bag and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like it'll put somebody down for a 3 count if you ask me. So I don't know. It may get out. People may see this. People may not. I don't know. I'm just voicing my personal opinion. And Roxanne Perez to me is on number 4 on this list. Let's proceed. Number 3, Nikita Lions. Actually, Nikita Lions need to change both of her finishers, to be completely honest. Nikita Lions, her finisher as of late has been the second rope splash. Basically, the second rope splash, you go to the second rope, and you stand on the second rope, and then you just basically catapult yourself into a splash. To me, that's not cool. Like that's a weak finisher. It works for some people. Like it works for like a Piper Nevin. It works for a Otis. You know what I'm saying? Because they got their heavyweights pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So that works for like a Otis, like a Van Vader type wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Now, those are the guys that it works for. But a Nikita Lyons, it don't necessarily work for. I feel like a Nikita Lyons, especially at this point in her career, I think that she should be executing like her finisher should be like a Uranagi or something like that, like a standing Uranagi. You just like how Biggie used to do it, or the way Roman Reigns do it, where they just pick you up and just slam you into the ground, and you not falling into the ground, you just slamming them into the ground. Like I feel like that would be her bag, because I feel like even though she tried to get her little kicks off and her little strikes off, that's cute too, I feel like that would be her bread and butter right there. All of the Mortal Kombat stuff. At the end of the day, we've got to be real with ourselves, and the truth is, like, she's very nimble, but she done already tore both her ACLs. So, At that point, you kind of got to change your style of play. That's kind of like how D Rose had to go from a high riser to a, like a finesse player. Like a smooth like Paul George. I'm shooting mid ranges and I'm laying it into the hoop, like that type of stuff, versus I'm jumping out the gym and I'm doing all of this, when in reality I can't do that no more, because all I'm going to do is put strain on my knees, and that's where she's at in her career. Clearly Shawn Michaels is not giving up on her because he sees star power in her. Personally, I'm not a fan of her wrestling, because has nothing has stuck out to me and impressed me except one thing. But but off rip, to be honest, she should change that finisher, and she should change the split. The split pin, it should honestly just be like a setup move, like a signature. Kind of like how I previously said the pop rock should be like a setup move for the finisher. You know what I'm saying? I personally feel like that's the way they should go. If they're going to, invest in Nikita Lions, and she's going to, be one of them ones in NXT going forward. But let's proceed. Number 2, Xavier Woods. And I know. Some people might kick my back end over this, but I'ma just bring it up anyway because, it has to be said. So Xavier Woods, he's very talented. He's always been good. He's always been a cold superstar in regard to, like, getting the job done, and just being able to go in a ring. Like, that's one person that's, to me, he's a ring general as well. Because he knows the ins and outs of the business. He knows the ins and outs of the square circle. He can make anybody look good. He can make himself look good in the process, even if he's losing. The only thing that's always been a kind of a bother to me is that he is very inconsistent with finishers. And I get why. We've very rarely been able to see Xavier Woods as a singles competitor. So when we do see him as a singles competitor and he hits his finisher, it's like, wait, that's his finisher? Oh shit. Versus, like, you never truly knew his finisher up until maybe this point. Now, I like the limit break elbow. I think that he should keep that in his finisher bag. That goes to what I was saying previously, where you got like a top rope finisher and you got a standing finisher, kind of like back in the day with SmackDown versus Raw and stuff like that. So the limit break elbow, that shit is cool as hell. I like it, and I'm happy they finally put it in WWE 2K, because he's been doing that move since, like, let's say, what, 2016, 2015 or whatever, and they never put that move in there. So I was actually very surprised, and I'm actually very happy that it's in there now. But the roll up that he does, it shouldn't be a finisher, bro. Like, I like that, that's his thing and stuff like that. But if he's going to go any further up the card, that got to stop. That has to stop. If he's going to go any further up the card, that has to stop. It'll be cool, like, every now and again to see, like, a nice little roll up, but that shouldn't be his bread and butter. He's better than that. You know what I'm saying? He's better than that. I like but I like the sentiment of it. It's called the roll up, and he be throwing a little extra stink on when he says the roll up. And come on, man, we already know what it is. Like, I know what it is. I ain't gonna say it, but I know what it is, bro. I know what it is. But yeah, I feel like I think the Shining Wizard was cool when he was doing it. That can definitely be a finisher that he uses going forward. But he definitely needs like a standard finisher. Or like the Eat the Feet was cool. That was a cool move. I've always liked the Eat the Feet. And if Mia Yim Michin ain't using it no more, shit, the lane is wide open, my brother. You go ahead and go cook and go do your thing. But especially since they're teasing this New Day split, we definitely gotta see a new finisher come out of this for Xavier Woods. Yeah, we're ready though. We're ready. So let's proceed to number one. Number one. And to me, this is the one thing that's keeping this man from. I mean, to be honest, we've seen worse finishers off of main eventers, but I personally feel like this should be something. But number one, Carmelo Hayes. I like the nothing but net finisher. So the nothing but net finisher is basically like a fame master, like a leg bulldog, or from the top rope. It's cool. I like the move. The first person I seen do that move from the top rope was John Cena. And I like it. It's a nice homage, but to be honest, that shouldn't be his only finisher. I feel like he should have one standing finisher that definitively ends the match. Because, like I said previously, it's too much of a setup for that move to even be considered like just your primary finisher, if you ask me. Like, you gotta go to the top rope, and that person gotta be hunched over, bent over, in order to execute the move precisely. Not to mention, it could be a lot of pressure on your lower back. It could be a lot of pressure on your lower back, your spine area, because I don't know about y'all, but I remember Matt Hardy mentioning previously, and there's a lot of cars going by, so you might hear some honks. But I remember previously, like when Matt Hardy did his cage match with Edge in 2005 at Unforgiven. He jumped off the top rope. No, I said the top rope. I'm bugging. Sorry, guys. He jumped off the top rope, and I said it again. Are you serious? Are you serious? Where my mind at? But he jumped off of the top of the cage. That's a high ass cage. It's like a 15-foot cage. Probably less, probably more. Who knows? But he jumped off the cage and did a leg drop, and he said that his back was never the same after that. So I'm saying that from the perspective of your physical will thank you, Mr. Hayes. Your physical will thank you. Get a standing finisher so that you can put these guys away, so that when you do, it's no doubt about it. And like I said, I like the nothing but net finisher. It goes with his character and stuff like that, but you definitely still need like a definitive finisher that you can pull off from anywhere. And I like that suplex cutter he does. That's pretty cool. But I definitely think that it should be one definitive, like for every superstar, they should have one definitive finisher that they can pull from anywhere. They can do it outside of the ring. They can do it in the ring. They can do it like if they have a street fight or something like that. They can just pull that move out from anywhere, and that's always been my thing. So this is why I wanted to bring this to everybody's attentions, because there's a lot of people who don't have great finishes historically. Like I remember one time this dude Byron Saxton, and it was like one of the few times we seen him in a match, and he did some sort of like full Nelson slam some like thing, but it was like it was like set up to be like a face buster, but it wasn't a face buster. And I was just like, yo, this is garbage, bro. Like, I don't ever want to see this man in the ring again because of that finisher. Strictly off of that finisher. I didn't see I didn't see the entire match, but that finisher was just dirt. I'm sorry. And yo, the finisher makes the superstar, man. Like, there's only but so far you could go if your finisher is not cold, bro. I'm sorry. And that's just how it is. And it just is what it is. Let me know in the comments, people that you feel like should change their finishers. If you're new here, like and subscribe. If you're not new, I appreciate you dearly for coming back and coming back and coming back, you know, because we're constantly improving and getting better. First and last time listeners, I appreciate y'all too, but fuck y'all. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm out though. Peace.